But yeah, Hockey Baki is sort of set in the same idea, this like
Let's-
uh of Torb. It's the same kind of, you know,
It looks
worlds.
so good.
So this is a VR game. And
Yes.
I'm like kind of dying to play it because y'all
Yeah.
just like this is your like kind of current project, right? You're just
Yeah.
tying it up such that it's almost released, right? Something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in testing kind of right now, and we just have some, but it's like the last 10% maybe. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
And
Yeah, and
it's
you are a hockey player though, which is why I actually think this is an especially cool game. So I know you say CodeSpells is your favorite, but I feel like like you're this one is where you're taking your favorite sport and you're like making it possible for everyone to play it.
yeah, I I got very lucky, right? In that Adrian, so when quarantine hit in April, like New York in April was like a horrible horror movie. Like
Yeah.
it was so bad here in April last year that it's like I don't think the rest of the country really understood it. Like it was like one of those movies where like people are walking around in like full body, contagion suits, and there's like corpses piling up outside
Yeah.
the hospital. Like it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So like there was this like need to do something because we literally couldn't go outside. Like if we went outside, we could just only go to certain places. It was a nightmare. So um, I remember like my friend was like, "Ah, I wish we could play hockey." And I was like, yeah, me too. And then like I just brought that up with Adrian and he's like, why don't we make a hockey game? And so it isn't Adrian's favorite game, it's mine. And I just got lucky that he went along with the idea of making a hockey game. Uh yeah, and we basically tried to make it not a simulation, but sort of taking what is fun about the game and distilling it. So uh, the feeling of skating, the feeling of like, there's things about hockey that are physically limited, right? Like in the hockey baki, the walls are like Rocket League, so you can go up the wall.
Right.
Not not like to the ceiling, but you can slide up the wall like a skate park.
Yeah.
And like, why not? That would be fun. Like, I understand why that doesn't happen in real hockey, though it did happen in one roller hockey league a long time ago. Uh, but like, it's like, let's do that instead of walls, because like it's just no fun to run into a wall.
Right.
Like it's okay, but it's not great. Like I'd rather just be able to do a cool move up the wall and come back down. So we did things like that, like just distilling what was really fun about it and not taking it too seriously. So it's not like this is a simulation of realistic ice hockey.
So I noticed on the logo, which by the way is awesome. I hadn't seen the logo until I saw
Mhm.
this video, but I noticed on the logo it's a Torb Sport production. So this one
Yeah.
is like Hockey Baki and Torb are kind of related to each other. I feel like not the
Yes.
same game, but aesthetically they're related, and maybe in the narrative they're related somehow. I don't know. Is that true?
Kind of, yeah. Like the universe that Torb takes place in is like, it's just like a universe of play. Like it's just shapes. It's not people. They don't, they have like, it's like the same thing, like these low poly things that represent people. Like, I think Adrian used to always say this about Torb, and I know you're a chess player, but he's
I
like, they're
was
just
just
chess
thinking it. I was
pieces.
just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just chess pieces, so they don't have to represent anything. And that to me is super important because then it's about the play
Right.
and it's about the game itself. And that's the same thing with Torb is, and we have, we're still working on some Torb stuff. We still work on those that line that universe, like a sword fighting kind of adventure game, more sports games. The idea is to sort of build out mechanics that are really fun. And in Hockey Baki, a lot of the mechanic was like just movement, like movement in VR and solving it. So in Hockey Baki, when you move forward, it projects a line on the ice that shows a predictive line of physically where you will go based on what you've just done. So if I hold down the trigger to go forward, it will show me in 5 seconds where I will be if I don't change direction.
Yeah,
And
that's
what
cool.
that does is it kind of reassures you when you're moving through space in VR. Like you're like, I know where I'm going. And you're never like, what am I doing? You always have a direction to kind of follow. And so now we want to work on other mechanics like archery and sword fighting and
Yes.
flying a vehicle and all that stuff. So we keep making iterations on that idea. I can't say that they're all gonna become games, but it's such a, like I said, like we started Hockey Baki in the pandemic just as like a thing to do to keep us busy,
Right.
and it sort of turned into this like philosophy, like we're gonna make a bunch of these small games, and then eventually we'll make a huge game and we can incorporate all these mechanics into one thing.